like that. That was some exceptional frame delay. How's it going, Wiz? I feel like it's been a minute. And welcome, Goo, over on YouTube. It's going good. It's going good for me too, Wes. Can't complain. Alright. We're still grinding on a few of these Pokemon. I did, in fact, already pre-order some consoles. I have 3 of them on pre-order. Very spendy. But I have sold half of my army of Switches for it, so... And I got a good amount of Pokemon cards I'll need to sell as well. 3 of them. I managed to get 1 at GameStop, and I got 1 of each SKU or UPC at Walmart. So I was able to get a Mario Kart edition and a non-Mario Kart edition. Pre-ordered it at Walmart. Starkiller, you managed to get 2 as well. I'm glad for you for that, in light of what you said you would have to do if you were unable to get 1. So I'm here for it. The wild thing was, GameStop, I just walked in, and it was like 5:30 after work. And I was like, hey, you guys got any pre-orders left for the Switch 2? And they're like, yeah, which one you want? We have like 21 left. I was shook. Because that location had 64 total that they were able to divvy out. Which I appreciate the fact that they knew how many that they were going to be getting on launch day that they could pre-order out for. I respected that highly. Now if they could just do it with their stupid Pokemon card collection. You were on Walmart and watched the countdown on 2 phones and got in after an hour, and shortly after you got in, they sold out. So Walmart, I actually did at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time the day that they released. And apparently, like, they did it in... They seem to have done it in waves. It was the weirdest thing. He had to go to the eye doctor the next morning, and GameStop was wrapped around the whole shopping center. Wow. And GameStop only asked me for $50 down. I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it. That's nice. Definitely those Switches will help your channel grow more. Maybe. There is a chance that they may not be moddable ever. 90% likely they're going to require hardware to be made in order to mod them, which will also require soldering, most likely. And I don't know how I feel about that. I know the dev community is not super positive about it. Like, yes, hardware modifications will always be a thing, because you can always crack into the hardware some way, somehow. But finding an exploit is a lot harder. Like the Wii, awesome, because it accepted direct internet channel. It had a direct messaging channel. Like, you basically send emails out of. That's why that works, is you can inject things into it. The Switch, you know, you could use the developer mode to inject software into the Switch. It it was a flaw in its system, but when they took the ability to switch into developer mode out, you had to manually get into it through hardware. And that's going to be the case with the new one. I doubt that they're going to have some sort of a exploit because they're not having an external chat system that you can send messages to other players from what I've heard, but you will be able to video chat. Maybe that'll create a loophole. Maybe that'll create some sort of a connection protocol that they can hack into, break into, whatever. It's possible. But it's got to be exploitable in order for them to use software to mod. And if it's hardware, that means you have to buy pieces. And if they sell pieces, they can't sell them as a collective unit saying, hey, you can use this to mod your Switch. They have to sell it as, oh, this is a Arduino board, you know? Here's this. Oh, by the way, you know, this file isn't attached to this Arduino board, but if you download it and put it on there, you could break into the Switch. It could happen. But you will also need this other piece, and you have to build a circuitry yourself. But here's how to do it. You know, they could do that. Make sure you pre-order a couple of them micro SD express cards too. You heard those were going to be sold out for a long time. I doubt it. A lot of things use those cards. Those cards shouldn't be exclusive to the Switch itself. Now, if you wanted, like, the actual Nintendo ones, probably should. But I'm not counting on them being moddable, but I am getting that extra one just to keep in the box, just in case they are. I'm trying to figure out if I do want the Nintendo specific one, but I did order the camera. And then after I ordered it, I kind of started thinking, why did I order the camera? Because if I'm playing a game, Nintendo has conditioned me so much because of the lack of video chat, voice chat in their game, that I'm already streaming it. I can talk to somebody on Discord if I wanted to. But they are having basically a PlayStation Move-esque thing going on with that camera, a Kinect, if you will. So that's tempting in and of itself. Hey, Austin, welcome. Also, you just know you had to pre-order your card from GameStop because everywhere else is sold out, and the off-brand ones have been on back order for months. I'm not too worried about it initially because you can install the game to the system for, you know, some degree, but it's when we're like 10 games in, I'm going to be concerned about storage. From the starting lineup, I really only plan to buy Mario Kart and Donkey Kong. Maybe Donkey Kong. Mario Kart's a must, though. Let's check on Walmart.com here. Got 250 gigabytes. $59. What else you got? I feel like that's not nearly enough. I feel like we're looking for like 528. I guess this would be enough for the wife's Switch, though. But it is out of stock. Micro SD card express. Yo, Walmart, you okay, dude? Right, it's got to be a micro SD XC. EX. Got some SanDisk. Yeah, it looks like a Lexar one is $200. Let's see if this Best Buy one is available. Yeah, it does have to be express. Oh, come on, focus camera. You know I have to, right? They have a Gengar one? Do they have Gengar in 1000, though? Oh, that's not an EX. You had me in the first half, Best Buy. Had me in the first half. Is the EX a new thing? Because I feel like they've been around for a while. That's pretty neat. I don't like the fact that it's to a sketchy website that I've never heard of. Adorama? Never heard of that place before. The X has been around. That's what I thought. There's one for Play Asia. Where to buy? Amazon. Yeah, they're out of stock. But they'll eventually get in stock. I'm not too worried about that one. Still can't believe they didn't drop the Switch 2 without a Mario game. With a Mario game. That was a little interesting. Instead of they dropped it. They dropped it with a Donkey Kong game, kind of. I mean Mario Kart, yeah. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Plus when though? The stream is really laggy. Well, let's see if I can cut down on some stuff to see if I can make that not the case. Because it does say I am dropping frames. 22 minutes ago, though. Let's get out of iTunes. Let's exit Discord. Let's exit that. And we'll drag this over here. Okay, now I can see all the chats in one place. A little bit of optimization here. Okay. And then we will turn up the music. And we'll run with this just to make sure that the stream doesn't fail. Does it look better now? Okay, and I need to go tend to my toddler here for a second. I will be right back. Hopefully now the stream is caught up. in doing what it's supposed to be doing. Wiz, did you end up saving up for a Switch 2 back in the day, or did you end up buying those games that you were after? Oh, that was a joke, kind of. Only kind of. I love how I'm leveling up my Meowth, getting money doing it. I'm getting paid to level up Meowth. It's not very much, but it helps. But 100 coins per battle, pretty good. This is how I'm going to buy my Dratini, because heaven forbid I have to go to the Safari Zone and find one. Not doing that. The Meowth sprite looks funny. It does look pretty hilarious. It kind of looks like a panda. Or a raccoon. Maybe a teddy bear. Goo Gaming, welcome back. Did you get you a Switch 2 pre-ordered? Internet died, but you're back. Welcome back. What is an extreme living dex challenge? Nuzlocke full living dex? Absolutely not. I would have failed like 90 times by now. These Pokemon recently have been fainting left and right. No. The reason why I say extreme living dex challenge is because a living dex challenge is nothing, you know? Go through the game, get the rare candies all at the end, whatever, or just do it naturally. Leveling up your Pokemon, getting a form for every kind, all at the end. Very easy to do. It's a Professor Oak's challenge, it combined with a living dex. So, Professor Oak challenge being you have to fill in the pages of the Pokedex 100% before each gym leader. So, if you can get a Charizard before Brock, you have to get a Charizard before Brock. That's the Professor Oak's challenge. 100% Pokedex as much as it can possibly be done before each gym leader as you progress through the game. Living Dex, you have to have a physical form for Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard at some point during the game. All together at the same time. Combining the two is what makes it extreme. So not only do I have to fill in the pages of the Pokedex, I physically have to have the Living Dex form of the Pokedex as much as can be obtained prior to fighting each gym leader. So for Brock, we needed like 34 Pokemon physically in our Pokeboxes before we could battle him. And then for Misty, we have to do a lot more because Misty technically isn't needed. No, Misty is Lieutenant Surge isn't needed. Right? Right. So before I can battle Lieutenant Surge, I basically have to go and battle Erica and Blaine and a lot of other people. But I have to get to the Seafoam Islands, fill in all those. I think I have like 20-ish, 25-ish more Pokemon to obtain before I can fight Misty. Hopefully that explanation made a little bit of sense. Also, welcome to the Ecolarg. I might as well run Meowth till it faints. And Goo, you did not yet get yourself a Switch 2 pre-ordered. Next paycheck is on Thursday, so then you probably will. Man, I hope it's still available next Thursday. I doubt it will be. Sounds painful near Safari Zone. Yes. Yes, it will be. I did recently run through a normal playthrough of Pokemon Red just to ensure that I would have all of the version exclusives available. And oh my gosh, sometimes it wasn't even catching the Pokemon in the Safari Zone that was the problem. It was finding the stupid thing. Because, oh my gosh, I spent like hours. We're talking like 20 hours looking for a stupid pincer. And it wasn't a problem to catch it. Like, I did catch it within like 2 Pokeballs. But it was just finding the stupid thing to begin with. The game just would not generate one for me. Ooh, I think Meowth's leveling up now. Well, I know Meowth's leveling up. I saw it on screen. I thought it was closer to evolving at this point. And yes, it is extremely painful. Like, we're on episode 39 and we haven't even touched the second gym. And this is like, give or take 2 hours on average a stream. We're 80 hours into this playthrough so far. Right? 80 hours? 82 hours. Like, I'm pretty sure the clock is going to stop counting before I actually beat this. So right now, I am just grinding to level up my Pokemon to evolve them so that I can have the Persian in my computer, in my Pokedex, Pokebox, whatever. Do I believe that $90 for one game is outrageous? Not intrinsically. Or inherently. I don't inherently believe $90 is outrageous. But that having been said, it's got to be a very good game. Mario Kart could potentially be worth it. If it's packed full of extras, if it's got every level that we've ever seen, you know, not just... For example, would I find $90 for Scarlet and Violet worth it? Absolutely not. I barely find $60 worth for that. In fact, I would say $40 is about what Scarlet and Violet is worth to me. New. Granted, I'm going to pay it because I want to play the game, and that's just what it is, but... knowing what I know about Wind Waker, if they did an HD version of that for the Switch, I would probably pay it. Keeping into account, you know, if it wasn't a remake, yes. Remake, no. $60 is the tops for that one. I don't know enough about Donkey Kong Bonanza to say if that's going to be worth it, but that one is being sold most places like at $70 still, from what I found when I was pre-ordering it. So, like, if Pokemon was to do a game, say, like a Heart Gold, Soul Silver, where you can go to multiple regions, you can progress through more of the game in one whatever, I would say yes, it's worth it. Given Mario Kart is basically Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, plus, like, twice as many levels as it has, and we're getting a lot of content in it, I would say yes, that one warrants the price. Not really. World is ending. Escapism must be harder to obtain. Yeah. I do judge a game based on time to complete and replayability. For example, how many hours do I have to work? And the older you get, the easier it is to think in these kind of terms. How many hours do I have to work in order to purchase this product? Is it worth that work to be able to buy? For example, if I was to buy this $90 game, I have to work 4 hours. Right? Yeah, I have to work about 4 hours, give or take. It's not the end of the world. 4 hours of work, I get to enjoy a game. And if I can enjoy the game for 90 hours and pay $1 an hour on average, I'm cool with that. Especially as I get older and my kids take up more time. I don't have a lot of time to play games anyways. So that 90 hours is going to spread months. I paid $60 for Mario Kart. And I'm still playing it 6 years later. I still haven't beaten that game. Gotta go. Sorry for not being here longer. You'll stay on stream, but gotta go quiet. Work 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Wait, Goo, how the heck does that work? 5 a.m. to 9 p.m.? That's like a 14-hour shift, dude. No, 16-hour. Go Diglett, go Diglett, go. Go Diglett, go Diglett, go. Oh, we've dropped 28 frames over the last 2 minutes. That's not good. Yikes. Okay, let's see if we can fix this. No, because there's like a bunch of different. I can't just put them all on high priority to fix that evening. We'll continue to monitor this situation. It is annoying how it tells me, oh hey, yeah, you're dropping frames, but doesn't give me any options to stop it. Hi, Wookie, welcome. It's been a minute. I wonder if it's going to help if I shut my bots off. Diglett is evolving! Yeah, I stream on OBS. It's been a busy year. You'll probably be able to watch more of them in the summertime. That makes sense. That makes sense. Alright, let's go get rid of Diglett because we don't need him anymore. Okay, we are dropping frames still. See if that fixes my problem. That at least is going to tell me if it's my internet or if it's my computer. You're glad ZA is on the Switch 1 and 2? I'm sure a lot of people are. Just means I'm going to have to buy the Switch 2 Enhanced version 1. The good news about it being on Switch 1, I hope, is that we can trade cross-Switch. Like, I would be so pissed if they say, okay, Pokemon Legends ZA, if you're on the Switch, you can only trade with other folks that are on the Switch. If you're on the Switch 2, you can only trade with other folks on the Switch 2. I hope they don't do that. That would be so annoying. How much OBS is using my CPU? Oh my gosh. It's probably using a lot of my CPU, honestly. Yeah, so 72% of my CPU is being used on any given moment. They said they have cross gameplay. I seem to recall that being a thing in their announcement video. Okay, Drowsy doesn't need to evolve. Aber needs to stay. Diglett needs to stay. Pidgeot needs to stay. Kadabra should be in a trade place in box 12. Okay. I'll have to do a Sandshrew, and a Paris, and a Zubat. It's telling me it's using like 64 to 78% of my CPU on any given moment. Generally, what I have found is the issue is my computer's connection to my internet more often than not. My computer will just randomly disconnect from my internet, and I don't know why. So usually it's an issue of my computer having issues versus anything else. And my computer's only running, basically at this point, Streamlabs. Did I not heal? I did not heal. Pokemon Center, I believe. And possibly GameStop. Yeah, it's Pokemon Center. Ooh, that spiked up to 99%. Camera Hub. You can hear and see me perfectly, aside from the lag. I never dreamed I would have this much money. This is great. Hey, Magikarp knows Tackle? Oh yeah, I guess it is. No, I thought it learned Tackle at level 19. Cool. Go Magikarp. You tried some Journey Together when it came out, but you were unsuccessful. I had a lot of success with Journey Together. I got all your pulls, I guess. I wonder what would happen if I disconnected from the internet midstream and then reconnected. Oh, yeah, that happens. Okay, we're gonna turn off my Wi-Fi real fast and then immediately reconnect and see what happens. Are we still on stream? Can everybody still see me? Cool. We'll see if that helped. Don't tell me this Pidgey's just gonna body this Magikarp. Okay, we tried it again. This time, I got the message saying it was attempting to reconnect. Sometimes, and usually this isn't a problem when I power down my computer and then turn my computer back on again. But sometimes my computer doesn't update, and such was the case. I did just update my computer. And sometimes when that happens, OBS stops working for like a week and gives me this drop frames issue for like a week straight, and then OBS fixes whatever problem they cause by not being up to date. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that. Hey, Wookie, you have a fantastic day. Then I'm going to say I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to reset my computer, and then I'm going to start it again. So I will be back as soon as I possibly can.